Hey friends, welcome to my YouTube channel. I have gotten a lot of requests lately to do more video content, so here we are, we're doing it. Thank you for being here, thank you for watching this. And this video is really just going to be a little bit more of a lifestyle update video because my IFBB Bikini Pro season has come to an end. So those of you who have been following along or listened to some podcasts I've been on recently know some of my backstory, but I won my IFBB Bikini Pro Card in February of this year of 2020, right before the COVID outbreak, and took a very short break, but then dove into the IFBB Pro League competition season really this fall. And having done my last competition back in September of this year, that brings me to having completed almost 15 months in and out of prep. So I did make my pro debut at the IFBB Optimum Classic down in Louisiana. And then in September, I competed at the Hurricane Pro down in Florida. And like I said, that wraps up about 15 months of competing, and my body has been begging me for a break. So that is where I am headed. So now that I am about 8 weeks or so into my off season, let's talk physique update. So I am about hovering between 10 to 12 pounds above my most recent stage weight, and I worked my calories up very quickly after that last show. I'm a big fan of a recovery style diet versus a reverse diet when I am shredded and stage lean, because my hormones are not as robust as maybe some women who compete. I know that not everyone who competes loses their menstrual cycle, but that has always happened to me. I have struggled with that a lot in the past, anytime that I get lean, even if it's just for a photo shoot or if I'm stepping on stage. So I have spent the past, 2 months or so since I last competed really pushing my calories back up, getting up over 2,000 calories, really kind of as fast as my body could handle, so that I could put some body fat back on, so that I could get my period back more than anything else. My hormone health is very, very important to me, and that's something I always prioritize in my off season. So I'm happy to report that I just got my period back. Hell yes. Thank you, Aunt Flo. So that's kind of where my physique is at. I have definitely put on a little bit of body fat, but I feel really good about the weight gain since my last show. I am someone who is pretty okay with not being that lean year round, just because I do know how much it affects my life. And from that standpoint, that's kind of my physique update. But as far as my life update, I am seriously enjoying feeling like I'm crushing my workouts in the gym again. That's one of my favorite parts of getting less lean, I guess you could say, is that my workouts feel amazing. I've gotten back to hitting PRs, just having a ton of energy. I've used that energy to go on a bunch of long, beautiful Colorado hikes, which has been so much fun. I've been spending a ton of time with my dogs. My husband and I recently adopted a puppy, which seemed like a good idea, but some days he seems like the spawn of Satan too. So we've been really busy with the puppies, but it's been really fun just to have energy to do so many things again. And that's one of my biggest pieces of advice for anyone who is transitioning from a period of time where they're super lean to coming back to maintenance or even lean gaining, is to shift your focus from what your body looks like to what your body can physically do, because your body does so much for you every single day. So I've just really enjoyed focusing on all of the things my body does for me, having awesome energy, really good sleep, really good workouts. I also added in some pole dance fitness kind of classes, which I'm not a dancer, but it has been so much fun and has really just helped me feel sexy during this process of gaining a little weight back. And that would be another fun thing that I would recommend to anyone going through this kind of reverse process, or anyone who needs to put on body weight that's feeling a little, it's difficult, right? Let's be real, it's mentally challenging. It can be physically challenging too, but find some extra fun within your fitness routine to really spice things up, get you motivated. I have been having a blast going to those classes. And as I let go of the shreds of being stage lean, another big thing that has helped me is I recently got rid of all of the clothes that only fit me during prep. So, I mean, like I just said, I'm a solid 10 pounds plus lighter when I'm stage lean, and I have in the past kind of saved those clothes that only fit me during those times, but I've noticed that it doesn't make me feel good during other times of the year to just keep those clothes in a drawer that really don't fit any other time unless I'm super, super shreddy. So that's something I would also recommend to people if you are having a hard time where you're like, I just wish how I looked 5-10 years ago or whatever it may be. I talk with a lot of my clients about this. It's very normal to struggle with, comparing something with rose-colored glasses in the past to now. So if that's something that keeps you hung up on a previous version of your physique, I would highly recommend getting rid of those clothes that you keep in the back of your closet that are 4 sizes too small or whatever, just because you might get back there. But sometimes that wasn't a healthy place. Sometimes there was something going on in your life that you're never gonna go back and be in that exact same position, right? So that was very, very cathartic for me. I highly recommend it. And it makes me feel much more confident heading into this next phase of my off season. And along with that, I've also taken a pretty big step back from tracking my food every day. So like I mentioned, 15 months in and out of prep, that's a long time that I was very, very consistent, very, very dialed in, no ifs, ands, or buts about it. So mentally, I really just needed a break. And so for me, this does not look like just eating like an asshole every day. I still certainly meal prep most of my foods, but I also make room for more fun foods. And since I have the experience of tracking macros in the past, like I've probably been tracking my food on and off for the last 5 years of my life, I know portion sizes pretty damn well now. So I'm pretty good at eyeballing, what 4 ounces of chicken breast looks like and that sort of thing. So I've been having fun kind of mixing up my typical meal prep foods with like cinnamon rolls, which I love, or more date night foods, things like that. And so this really leads me to what's next. Like I mentioned, it's off season, but I'm gonna take that a step further and commit to not entering a diet phase for all of 2021. I said it here, so I'm holding myself accountable to all of you watching this. But I mean, my body has really just been yelling at me to take a longer break. I want to actually have a regular period for more than just a month here or there because I'm always chasing these physique goals, right? I want to really, really give my body the recovery it has been asking for, and also give my husband some much needed extra date nights, because that's something not a lot of people talk about unless they have a partner who's really into fitness as well, which my husband is definitely not. It can be really hard to go through prep. I mean, he was incredibly supportive through this wild ride of a year since I got into the bodybuilding space, but I owe it to him and our relationship to also take some time and not be so strict with some of the rules and restrictions I put on myself when I am competing. So I really want to use this next year to just reconnect with what my body is telling me and make sure I give my body more of what it needs. When you get really, obsessed, because I was probably obsessed with tracking food, you kind of lose touch with what your body actually wants. You don't really get to listen to your hunger and fullness cues because you have to hit your macros, right? And sometimes, especially if you're dieting, your macro targets or your calorie goals are not gonna be in alignment with your hunger and fullness, right? I was always hungry when I was on prep, but you have to push that to the side. So I want to really just reconnect with when my body is hungry, when my body is full, more mindful eating practices, rebuild my relationship with food, because that always kind of takes a beating when you have a lot of rules and restrictions like you do when you're chasing big goals like I was, competing in the Pro League at the bikini level is no freaking joke. Those women are incredibly talented, incredibly driven, beautiful. You know, everyone is such a hard worker, so you really do have to be 110% dialed in. And that comes with, for me at least, mental struggles with kind of how I look at different foods. So rebuilding my relationship with food is definitely going to be another big focus of me for 2021, and pushing my workouts to the next level. Like I mentioned earlier, I want to build a little bit more muscle. That was my feedback at every single show that I did over the past year was, hey, you still need a little bit more muscle. So time to gain. So hopefully that gives you a little glimpse into what it's like, at least for me, transitioning from my competition season into my off season. And while 2021 is going to be the year of me not dieting, it's also going to be the year of me going all in on my YouTube channel. So if you have any ideas for topics, videos, content that you want me to cover here, definitely let me know in the comments and hit subscribe so that you can follow along with me. I can't wait to dig into all of this deeper. And again, thank you so much for being here and for watching.